Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Happy Friday. It's your homie Big Daddy Gibbs, and today I'm recording my top 5 comics for the week of February 16th, 2022. Alright, to kick things off, I read a couple more than 5 comics this week. I had to actually catch up to one of the series, and I did that, and man, I'm so glad that I'm caught up with that series. Alright, so first, at number 5, we got Amazing Spider-Man, number 89. This was a really good issue, but I feel like it was a little bit weaker than last week's issue. I think that's partly because Ben Reilly is a little bit more of an interesting character than Peter Parker, to me at least. And with the Queen Goblin, man, she's fire. I really, really, really like that character. She's brutal, and she almost seems like she's pure evil, which kind of makes sense with the origin story of her, being basically an embodiment of sins. It's really cool. I like her design, like her physical appearance. She looks cool. She wears some dope armor. She's got a sweet like Morning Star type weapon, and it's like on fire. I'll show you, like a little flaming Morning Star. I just think she's dope. She's brutal. She's evil. And then she's got this ability that she showed off called the Queen's Gaze, where she like peers into your soul, and maybe I don't know if it's different for everybody or she can like focus it and do different things, but she like made Black Cat see all the negative thoughts basically that she ever had in her entire life, and Black Cat was like on the verge of suicide. She actually attempted suicide, but of course Peter came in and saved the day. But yeah, it was a really good issue. I'm at least gonna finish off the Queen Goblin arc. I think there's one, maybe two more issues for the Queen Goblin arc. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it after that, because I don't really like the fact that it's a weekly series. I would prefer like once every 3 weeks, something like that. Once every 3 weeks or a month would be perfect, but once a week, I'm not about that, because that means I got to drop other books, most likely. So hopefully when they start the new run, I think it's sometime in April or May, something like that. Hopefully they go to a monthly series, because then I'll actually pull it every issue and keep up with it. Alright, so number 4, we got Iron Fist number 1, the introduction of the new Iron Fist character. I really liked this. It was a good introduction to the character, who is, I guess, the Sword Master from another series. I'm not actually sure what he's from. But he's not a new character. He's just new in the role of Iron Fist. Alyssa Wong did a really good job writing this character, and painting a picture of like kind of the background characters, the supporting cast. I'm excited to see where it goes for sure. It had a really cool ending. The only thing I don't like is that they focused more on the last Iron Fist character, like not necessarily him as Iron Fist, but just his personality and stuff like that. Like his Danny, I think was his name. They focused more on him than they did the new one, which is his name is Lin Lai or Lin Lee or something like that. They focused more on Danny, and which I guess for me is okay because I don't know anything about Iron Fist or Danny. But it was a good issue. I just wish they'd focus more on his personality and his character, rather than I think like at least a third of the book was about Danny post Iron Fist. Alright. And then for my number 3, I got Batman the Knight number 2. Batman origin in Paris, basically. It's a good continuation of the first issue, of the origin story as a whole. I'm going to keep pulling it for sure. I really like where they're going with it. I'm curious to see like if there's any other reasons why he went to Paris other than to train with Grey Shadow, or if that's even really the reason why he went to Paris, which they kind of made it seem like it was, because he wanted to learn from the best, but I don't know if there's any other reason that he's in Paris or not. Grey Shadow is really cool, like cool character. She's kind of like Catwoman-esque, but like more mature, at least age-wise, and I think she's smoking hot. And unfortunately for Bruce, she's not a cougar, which she basically said, silly boy, like I'm not into the young, you're too young for me. I'm sure something will happen between them because I'm curious to see where Chip Zdarsky continues the story. I never thought I would see Bruce being trained by a criminal. That's pretty wild. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, my number 2, Hulk 4. I actually wanted the Rogue cover on this one, the Gwen Stacy Rogue cover, but my comic book store's Marvel shipment, most of it got damaged, so this is what I got, which I'm happy with it. It's a cool cover. I was actually conflicted about not getting this cover A, because it's so good, but I really wanted that Gwen Stacy cover. Maybe I'll get it later, pick it up. So I'm really loving this story by Donny Cates. Like, it's really cool. And the art by Ryan Ottley is fantastic. It's amazing. His monsters and his creatures are fantastic. his creatures and his environments and backgrounds and stuff is phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. I don't understand though why people are down on this series. They're saying they don't like the run, but I think it's really sick. The dynamic that was created with Hulk's physical body being a spaceship, and that's powered by the Hulk, his psyche inside the engine room, and then you have Bruce Banner piloting the starship Hulk, the physical body of Hulk being the spaceship, and Bruce Banner, his psyche is inside of the pilot seat, the captain's chair, piloting the ship, and he's controlling directly the amount of rage that is sent to Hulk's psyche's his way in that while he's locked in that engine room. Such a cool concept. The issue was good. It wasn't mind blowing. It didn't change anything about the run. It just kind of continued the story. I'm curious to see what happens on this planet with Thunderbolt Ross being the president. It ended with a Gamma Spider-Man, so that was kind of cool. Curious to see what kind of powers he has, if he's got any powers, and maybe if there's any redemption there. I doubt there's redemption, but they did say that it was Peter, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were yeah, let's give Peter a shot in this run, outside of being evil monster Spider-Man. It would be cool to see some kind of redemption where Hulk kind of tries to save Spider-Man and maybe they team up or something. Hulk and Spider Monster teaming up together. Alright, my number 1, Thor 22. And of course I got this beautiful cover B. I don't know who did it. Who did the cover? I wish they would say artist names instead of variant edition. They should say last name variant. But that's cool. I really like this one. This issue was damn near perfect. And this is what I was talking about when I said I had to catch up to a series. I finished all 3 trades and then a couple more issues, 19, 20, 21, and had to catch up to get to read to 22. So I started the series towards the end of last month, and I haven't only read that. I've been reading other stuff too. So I kind of just grinded it out and caught up. It's really good. I love the lore with Mjolnir and Mangog, hanging out inside the sun and just vibing and fusing and melding together. Other than that, he had this scene where Odin gets his back broken by the hammer by Mjolnir. That was brutal. I was expecting him to get injured or die. They kind of teased that somebody was gonna die or somebody was gonna seriously get injured, and it was gonna affect the entire story basically. Odin died though and sacrificed himself after getting brutally paralyzed by Mjolnir. He shared this heartfelt scene with Thor, and it was the balance was cool. They capped it off with the ending of Odin Thor's Super Saiyan Thor, basically. It's a good issue, and I'm really excited for Thor 23. All right, that's it for my top 5 for the week. Let me know in the comments below, what was your top 5?